What is up, gamers? Welcome back to more Pokemon XD. Let's talk to the fortune teller. Find what you seek, be it an object, person, or luck. Help give me a fortune. Your trust will not be betrayed. What is the meaning of this? A monumental occurrence appears to be coming for you at its center. You need a ship, make way to a port. Yeah, just show it off that she tells you where to go next if you ever don't play the game for a couple months and you don't remember where the heck you're supposed to go. She'll give you vague hints as to what you should be doing. Now, you guys aren't gonna believe this, but check this out. PP ups are a premier, a very premium item. Maybe less so in this gen because you can always just spam pickup in Ruby Sapphire to get them. But let's use some PP ups on Tri-Attack here, because PP ups count as vitamins, just like proteins and irons. Which means they give a decent amount of friendship. So you know what that means. I've already scouted this out, but by giving Togepi the PP ups, look it, it's beautiful. It only took level 44 and using every vitamin I've gotten this entire game other than those other two PP ups. But we finally have Togetic. It's a miracle. Look at that special defense. And the defense isn't bad either. But yeah, that was always kind of the goal anyway, was for it to kind of just be a bulky Pokemon. But now it's level 44, so it's going in the back of the party. Because we don't need it as much. But it'll definitely be great to pair with Donphan. We'll just have Muck and Cloyster go in the front of the party. And let's take that advice. Let's go to the port. Now, according to ya boy Master Greevil, actually, how is my HP looking? I should go heal. It's gonna be impossible to get to the island. There's no way we'd ever get there. But, we're gonna find a way, dang it. My cat has, climbed onto my lap, as usual. She's attracted to the Let's Player voice for some reason. Whenever I talk loud and clear, when I record, it's just her favorite thing, I guess. She just climbs on me and purrs like crazy. Whoa, look at this crazy Kyogre rocket jet ship. That seems like it would get us across the sea. Now, do we have to talk to somebody and be like, hey, yo, it's the bridge guy. Let's go see our old friend. We haven't been in here in a while. Yo, Westbert, big news, real big news. That Robo Kyogre we've been telling you about, it's finally done. Once Grandpa got down to it, got serious, put together some kind of amazing. Okay, what's up? Like Per said, we finally assembled the Robo Kyogre. It's truly a work of marvel. What's wrong? Something the matter? Yeah, I need to get to the island. Oh, well, that's incredibly convenient. Because, this Robo Kyogre is exactly the perfect thing that'll get you through the rough waters. Cool. I do want to mention, because I did a little bit off screen. What is this? Okay, we gotta go to the lab to pick up something. But while I did a little bit off screen, we missed a short cutscene where the last Shadow Pokemon gets stolen by Mirror B's his little peons, which is just foreshadowing for Mirror B having the final Shadow Pokemon in the game. Right, we're going to the lab. I put all of our Pokemon in the purification chamber. We had exactly 9. See, it was calculated that I killed Primeape. Because now we have exactly 9 Shadow Pokemon that need to be purified. And the chamber only has 9 spots. See, this is actually all calculated, all part of my plan. I believe he's just going to give us the Master Ball here. Like, we go to the secret basement. Yeah, look at that secret basement that's just kind of there. It always looks like there's no way you'd fit in under here. You like hit your head going down. Here you go. Take what's in the box. Oh my gosh, it's a Master Ball. That's the Master Ball. It's very useful. Okay. Well, now we have the Master Ball, so that's cool. Now let's head back to the boat and go to the island. I think I still have an okay amount of Pokeballs. Enough to last me through this episode. I have quite a bit. I definitely want to get more Ultra Balls, but I also don't really have the money. So hopefully by beating these first few trainers, I can rack up some money and then use that to buy a bunch of Ultra Balls to last us through the rest of the game. What do you got to say?
There's no telling what you'll run into in Citydark Isle.
Oh, the Pokemart's got more merchandise. I don't think I need it this episode. I'll check it out later.
Citydark Isle. The final dungeon of the game.
Oh, look at all the Cypher peons. Oh, cool, some sailors.
Hey, you. That thing you rode on was pretty cool. But, we're gonna have to beat you up. And I'm gonna have to kick the cat out of my room.
Whoa, Crawdaunt! Whoa, Pelipper! The Sailor has a water-type Pokemon? No. So yeah, welcome to Citydark Isle, one of the longest dungeons in, like, any Pokemon game, probably. That's probably accurate. Trying to think if anything's longer. The dungeon where you go to, like, fight Mirror B the first time in Coliseum is pretty long. This one's probably longer, though. Clayster's not very useful against all these water types. You know, it's crazy that these Pokemon here, they're level 33, but by the end of this dungeon, we're going to be fighting things like... I think they go up to 50 plus. Yeah, let's just get Breloom out here. Use fighting moves on Crawdaunt, since our grass move is still Mega Drain. When I did one round of the what's it, Coliseum? Oh look, the spoilers for the Shadow again from Spikes. Yeah, there's Shadow Golduck. Hold my thought, I'm gonna review Golduck before I continue. Golduck, it's a water type. Water types are good. Its speed and special attack are fine. Therefore, it's fine. It's not an amazing Pokemon, but it's not a bad Pokemon either. It's just kind of there. Sludge Bomb will probably knock it out, actually. I'm just gonna protect for a turn. Like, this late in the game, you probably have a different water type, but I don't know. I've waited to get my last party member until Siddark Isle before. Speaking of more Pokemon, spoilers, it's a Shadow. It's Sableye. Sableye's pretty cool because it doesn't have any weaknesses. And I think it comes with some decent support moves, if I'm remembering correctly. I think it also comes with Shadow Ball. If it doesn't, you already have the Shadow Ball TM. But I think even if you've used it, I feel like it comes with Shadow Ball. Again, I could be wrong. Let's Stun Spore the Sableye. Thunderbolt shouldn't knock it out. Because Sableye's got some bulk to it. Oh, of course we missed. Yeah, it's definitely a Pokemon I've considered using before in a playthrough. I haven't done it yet, but I definitely want to eventually. Because, like I said, this is a really long dungeon, so don't think... Oh, what the heck. Critical hit again. I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna do a lot of catch up off screen. I'm not gonna reset for, like, anything. Because, like, I'll just get them later. It's not that hard. But yeah, I think Sableye's a really neat final addition to your team. It's also a ghost type, which is cool. If you have any Pokemon that have self-destruct or explosion, then it's going to be a really cool teammate for those kind of Pokemon. Though, personally, there's a different ghost type that we're going to be getting in not too much longer from now that I think is even better for those kind of strategies. I guess the biggest issue with Sableye is just competition. Because we've had the ability to catch Duskull forever, and that Duskull comes with, I think, Shadow Ball as well, and Helping Hand. Which makes it a really good support Pokemon. Definitely kind of outclasses Sableye a bit, but Sableye's still really cool. And it is a dark type, so maybe if you need that, also got that going for it. We're gonna fight the other Sailor, which, yeah, Clayster's not gonna be great for us, so we'll do these two.
You rode that there? That's awesome. Even Mr. Varric, the world's richest man, doesn't have one of those.
Yeah, it's a custom, thank you very much. Oh, he gave me a battle CD. That's cool. I thought he was gonna fight me like that other guy did. Well, in that case, I'm just gonna put Clayster back in front. For some reason, I remembered both of those sailors fighting you, but I guess only the one does. Now, we have a very convenient healing machine right here. Probably gonna be using that a lot. And this first little section's interesting. We're fighting a bunch of, like, non-Cypher guys that are in here.
Usually never leaves the Luxo Cruiser. Where'd he run off to in such a hurry? Oh, I know. You chased him off.
And the other thing that's interesting about this is very funny, that it's just a regular trainer battle music. This feels very unfitting for this place. It's supposed to be all ominous. But, yeah, what was I gonna say? I freaking lost my train of thought. I think that Dodrio is a shadow, though, so that'll give me something to talk about. Dodrio is also just kind of decent. It's not crazy, but it's fast. It hits decently hard. I mean, I don't know what else you'd really want. Like, normal flying types are always just kind of weird because most of them only get normal and flying type moves, especially in this gen. So it's not going to be doing much else besides spamming flying and normal moves, but it does do them quite well. And Dodrio gets easy access to Drill Peck, which is something that not a lot of other normal flying types can say. They're usually stuck using some mediocre move like Fly or Wing Attack or Aerial Ace. But at least Dodrio has like a good stab flying move that doesn't have like either low power or like takes a turn. That's definitely something in its favor compared to other normal flying types. Like that Pidgeotto we just caught. Yeah, Yeah, we could probably surf. Although, with how it's been going, I have been critting all the Shadow Pokemon, so I would not be surprised if this Surf crits the Dodrio and one-shots it. Okay, good. So far, so good anyway. Oh, this Whiscash also has Surf. Probably not going to do much to either of my Pokemon. Muck being very specially bulky. Yeah, we'll Ice Beam Whiscash. I'll try and throw a Pokeball. That was easy enough. This is also a Shadow, isn't it? Yeah, basically every trainer from this point on is just gonna have 2 Shadow Pokemon. Raticate. Yeah, I don't know what to say about Raticate. This late in the game, I don't know how much good Raticate is doing you. If you're using Raticate, it's because you either really like Raticate or it's a bit, you know, it's for the meme. It's probably not gonna be any other reason. I mean, we've had Zangoose already by this point, which is a much better pure normal type attacker. Probably other ones that I'm forgetting. But, I mean, Zangoose alone is just like, feels like a strict upgrade compared to Raticate. But hey, because it's Raticate, it also isn't very hard to catch, so that was convenient. I mean, what I will say about Raticate is it often gets, like, written off immediately. But the thing is, like, normal types in single player are, like, almost never bad because just spamming, like, Return or Double Edge is oftentimes plenty. Sus! She said sus! But yeah, just spamming Double Edge or Return is often just enough in single player. And Raticate's attack stat isn't, like, great, but it's also not terrible. And again, its speed is pretty decent, so... Honestly, there are definitely worse Pokemon than Raticate. But it also just doesn't really stand out again compared to other normal types that you could use. Wow, Roselia, Masquerain, this team goes crazy. I actually think Roselia is kind of underrated in Gen 3. At least for, like, single-player purposes. Because, like, its special attack is actually quite good. Level 43. 69 special attack, 69 speed. Nice. Yeah, I don't think this person has any shadows, because I think this left route that I went on, I don't think is required, so... Dunsparce, no! It was interesting that they added Dunsparce as, like, another Shaking Grass Pokemon alongside, like, Emolga and Audino in Black 2, White 2. It makes sense because, you know, it's based on a Tsuchinoko. It's supposed to be, like, an elusive, like, rare, what's the word for it? Cryptid. But it's also, like, you know, the weakest cryptid. Don't do much. It's a joke cryptid. So, I mean, it makes sense for it to, like, only be found by, like, popping out of the shaking grass. Like, the flavor is definitely there. But despite that, I think I oftentimes just, like, forget it's even in the Black 2 White 2 decks. Other than that one girl early on, okay, Dunsparce in the early game is kind of crazy. Wow, is there not even an item back here? I am very surprised. Reminds me of Giovanni's gym puzzle in, like, Gen 1 / Fire Red Leaf Green, which I always thought was hilarious. Like, the whole gimmick of the gym is that it's just to troll you. Like, there's those 3 trainers in a row, and you can't really see past them until you're, like, already fighting the 3rd one, and then you realize it's just a dead end. Or, like, you'll be so close, but then because a trainer will see you, and they'll, like, block your path. There are funny ways to cheese it, though. Like, you just, like, lure one trainer out, and they block the path, but then you just leave the gym and come back, and you can just do that. Which I imagine is what happens in speedruns. I just realized, why is Aeron here? Final dungeon of the game. And this guy's got an Aeron. I mean, it's not high enough level to be Aggron, but like, we have fought many Lairons already. Why does he have an Aeron? It feels very out of place. Seeing Corsola reminded me, because I really like Corsola Shiny. Shiny Pokemon in the Shadow Pokemon games, they're weird. It seems like they almost feel like it was like a last second addition. Like Genius Sonority was like, nobody has Shiny Pokemon, right? Because all of them look like, a lot of them look like they just like put like a filter or like a tint to them. Like, oh, this Pokemon's like this color and shiny, just make its entire body green tinted. Some of them look fine, some of them even maybe look a little cooler, but I'd say like most of them look way worse. Like, you thought some of the shinies got washed out in like the 3D Pokemon games, starting with X and Y. Well, in this game, they just don't look correct at all. Now, what is cool is their little portrait in the corner by like their health. For whatever reason, the shiny Pokemon have like different portraits. Sometimes they look like it's why I think it's like a last second thing, because some of them will be like mid blink, like they just took a randomized snapshot of the Pokemon's model. Also, that guy also said sus. What the heck is going on? But yeah, some of them look cool because the Pokemon will be like opening its mouth and it'll look sick. But yeah, other times their eyes will be like half closed. And it's like, what happened with the shiny Pokemon in these games? Now, of course, all Shadow Pokemon in XD are just like completely shiny locked. So you'd like never see them, but they aren't in Coliseum, so like there's always a chance you could see it in Coliseum. So I don't know. But again, like Genius Sonority, before working on Pokemon Coliseum, their whole team, it's been said, didn't know anything about the franchise, like at all. So I imagine that, like, you know, the game's got to ship in a week, and then Game Freak's like, oh yeah, shiny Pokemon exist, and they're like, huh? There's what now? You know, it's probably something like that. Now, I'm not very familiar with Stadium 2, but that game's gotta have shinies, right? I imagine? I mean, that's like a big thing in Gen 2, with the red Gyarados. I'd be interested to see how shiny Pokemon look in that game. Because if they looked weird in that one, then maybe this problem actually stems from not Genius Sonority, and I could just be completely wrong, but it'd be interesting to find out. Oh, I just realized, okay, no, it's fine. Like, Seeking can have Lightning Rod, so I was like, maybe this is a bad idea. I don't know if it can have Lightning Rod in this gen. Maybe not. Maybe that's a Gen 4 thing? I forget, actually, is Lightning Rod in? If it is, I know some of those abilities, like that draw and attacks, originally didn't absorb the hit. If that's the case, then it would make sense why Seeking doesn't have Lightning Rod, because it would just obliterate itself. Look at Muck's hasty nature coming in. It's the fastest Pokemon on the field. You really were someone suspicious. That's the thumbnail right there. Gonna go back and heal because we are almost done with this first area. Oh, I remember one of the things that I was gonna say and then forgot. The other thing that makes this first floor kind of weird to me is that we're about to fight one of the admins. And then you'd think, like, oh, maybe it's like each section you fight an admin. But no, the rest of the admins are all, like, at the end of the dungeon. For whatever reason, they just put Lovrina right at the start, and then all the other ones are at the end. Time to beat up Pink Hatsune Miku. Got a Gardevoir and a Gorebyss. Pretty big upgrade compared to her first team. Although it's been quite a long time since we fought her, so it makes sense. I like Gorebyss a lot in this gen, actually. I just used it recently in Emerald, and it was pretty good. Again, water types are just broken. Stab Surf can carry like anything. But it also learns Psychic by level up, which is cool. You don't have to use your TM on it. Gives it some neat coverage. Oh, the freeze. Alright, this is like her thing. She likes to spam Attract. It's not as bad as the admin in Coliseum who likes to spam Attract. The Coliseum admins definitely feel tougher. I mean, the two admins we haven't fought yet are quite tough, I think. But yeah, like Lovrina, even in this second fight, like, even if I didn't do a bunch of off-screen training, she wouldn't be difficult. Like, yeah, she's got some decent Pokemon now, like Gardevoir, but I don't think I've ever struggled with this fight. She's still got her Roselia. And a Farfetch. This one was always weird. It's so random that she has the Shadow Farfetch. Her other Shadow Pokemon, I think, if I'm correct, makes sense. But, yeah, Farfetch just seems super random. Let's just ensure the KO on Roselia. Try and get her down to her shadow so I can figure out what Pokemon I should send out to best weaken them. Yeah, it is Altaria. Yeah, because like Altaria I think fits her aesthetic, but why Farfetch'd? As for Pokemon, I mean, Farfetch'd has the unfortunate case of we just caught Dodrio, who's just kind of a strictly better Farfetch'd. Ooh, Who should we send out? I think you'll be good for weakening these two. Altaria's really bulky, so I think Sludge Bomb will be fine. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I could really recommend Farfetch, but hey, if you like Farfetch, go ahead and try to use it. I do like that it's a Shadow Pokemon, because otherwise it's only obtainable as a gift in Fire and Leaf Green. So like, this is the only way to get a Farfetch not caught in a Pokeball. So if you're one of those people that really likes to have your Pokemon caught in certain Pokeballs, this is the only way in Gen 3 to get a Farfetch not in a Pokeball, so that's cool. Because otherwise, like, there's just the gift one, or the trade one that's in a Pokeball, and then breeding is always a Pokeball, so... You know, that's something. I'm coming up with some nice things to say, I guess. This Shadow Panic is really annoying, actually. Sure, Body Slam. Maybe we'll just start throwing Pokeballs. Altaria, on the other hand, not as interesting. In fact, you can catch it in the Rayquaza Tower, right? So this isn't even the only place to catch an Altaria as an Altaria. But as for how good Altaria is, I think it's quite good. I think it's maybe even better in the Shadow Pokemon games than it is in the main series, because, again, bulky Pokemon just tend to be more viable for single player in these games than the main series. I like that's flying type because you can pair it with an Earthquake user. I mean, it's certainly a better flying type than what I'm using. And then because of its dragon typing, it has a lot of decent resistances. Overall, just a really solid Pokemon that can just stay on the field for long periods of time without taking a ton of damage. Its move pool isn't the greatest of all time. It could definitely be better, but it's still pretty good. Definitely want to catch this Farfetch'd in something that's not a Pokeball, so it can be special. There is a much better Dragon Flying type that we'll get in here, but it's not till like the very end. And so I think that it doesn't really have to compete with that Pokemon because we're getting Altaria right at the start of this incredibly long dungeon, so you'll have plenty of time to use it. Like if you only have 5 Pokemon going into here, I think Altaria is definitely one of the stronger picks that you could grab. I think this Farfetch does have the stick. So, I'm not surprised that it crit me at all. Yes, it's the one thing that Farfetch got going for it. The stick gives it the crit rate or whatever. That's kind of cool, I guess. I don't like what they did for a long time with the new evolutions, where they made new evolutions for old Pokemon, except no they didn't because they're only evolutions for the regional variants. I thought that was kind of lame. It's only now in like Gen 9 that we've finally gotten some evolutions that should just be like normal evolutions, like Primeape, Girafarig, and Dunsparce. Their evolutions all work like a lot of the Gen 4 evolutions, where it's by learning a certain move, generally. Which is how, like, you know, Lickitung, or like Tangela, Piloswine, all those ones work. Yanmega. So that's cool. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of, like, the era where we got, like, Mr. Rhyme and Surfetched and stuff that weren't actually evolutions to those Pokemon, which I thought was kind of disappointing. Yeah, Altaria's interesting in that it's also a Shadow Pokemon you could catch in Colosseum, and I have used it in Colosseum as well. I think it's actually worse there because Swablu is just it's not very good, and in that game you catch it as a Swablu, so you have to wait a long time to evolve it, and then even at that point, its move pool really hurts in that game. I think it's much better in this one. I believe it can learn Flamethrower, which we've had for a while at this point, so if you haven't used that, like, that's already a great move to throw on it for coverage. The Altaria's not very strong. I think it only has base 70 attack and special attack. It's definitely more of a bulky Pokemon. It also has a very low catch rate. Ooh, okay. Actually, I don't know what Shadow Break does. Does it have high crit rate? That could be the case. Let's go, we got Togetic on the field. You know what, we'll use Follow Me. Togetic's first battle. Just sitting there, like, throw Pokeballs at Altaria. There we go. Lavrina defeated. Yeah, again, definitely the weakest of all the admin fights. Especially because she's so early, so her Pokemon are lower level than the other ones too, so that probably isn't helping. Alright, bye. I was gonna say we'll never see you again, but that's actually not true. We will see her again in the post-game. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it. We cleared the first floor of this little dungeon here. Tune in next time where we continue the gauntlet that is Cinder Isle. See ya.